Staying alive, staying alive. Hey everybody, and welcome back from Canada on this very groovy, beautiful weekend. Hope everybody is doing well, and I'm feeling a little nostalgic here. Looking at my man, Mr. John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. Disco wasn't really my thing. I know I was born in the 70s. Yes, I just aged myself, but disco didn't really take for me. But what did take was roller skating. That was my jam. So I decided that I was going to try to do something different. I don't know how it's going to turn out, and I could see what it's going to look like in my head, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a beautiful, well-sculpted nail once it's all done. So hopefully you guys are willing to come on the journey with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by prepping the nail with the background. So what I've got my little practice finger here, and I've already done the white coat because I noticed that the colors will pop really nicely with the white underneath it. So let's start with that, shall we? So we're going to do a little bit of rainbow retro going on here. And like I said, I haven't practiced this, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I just hope it's going to be cool because it looks really cool, and I really hope it turns out because I've never done anything like this before, and I want to impress myself, and I want to see how well I can do this stuff without having to actually copy somebody else's design. I'm not a licensed technician. I just love to do this on my spare time. I really enjoy it, so that's what I'm trying to do here. I don't intend to do these on any body because I don't think that this design would be proper on somebody. It would probably be too bulky and end up probably falling off anyway. So, but it's just cool, and it's going to be 3D. And it's something that you could brag to all your friends about, that you have, or that you saw, or you did. I guess you could technically wear it, I guess. But you just have to make sure that it's properly fastened down and stuff like that. So I've got the little retro thing going on here. I'm hoping that it blends is what I'm hoping for here. So needle here and kind of looks kind of cool. Yeah, I think it looks cool already. Kind of looks like a spider crawling all over a good paint job. That looks neat. All right. And that's going to be I guess the background of the nail. So we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, and then while that dries, I'm going to show you what I've had envisioned in my head, and hopefully it works out for us, or for me. So I've drawn on a roller skate on some parchment paper, and I've copied it 3 times again on another separate piece, just so that I can add some acrylic to it and try to form the actual roller skate itself, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it on the first shot or not, so that's why I've got a few different tries that I can try it on. So let me just move some of this out of the way so we've got some room here. There we go. And I have some white acrylic going on right here. All right, and So I'm just going to try to hopefully it works out for me. Unfortunately, we're going to have to do it in stages because I got to wait for each little stage to dry before I can carry on to the next stage. That looks good so far. I do want to try to make it as close to the picture as I possibly can. But, you know, you can always file it and stuff afterwards too, so it's not a big issue. I mean, acrylic kind of goes wonky sometimes on you anyway, so you almost have to do that, right? So sorry, I'm just concentrating and I don't want to have verbal diarrhea here because then it'll distract me from my masterpiece here. So it's looking good so far. I think I've got it good so far. I got a nice shape going on. It's actually cute. I'm going to try to hope to do it in one shot, but it may not work. So that's okay. It's all trial and error, right? Okay, see? That's cute already. And then I at least know where I need to bring all the other stuff down. See, look, that's cute already. All right, let me just move that so I don't bump it. Okay, I think I might do 2 just in case. Just to be safe, because you never know. It's me, remember, so, you know, disasters usually do happen. But that's okay. I am a mother and I am used to it. It's going good so far. I think it looks cute. Then I was thinking about doing it with different colored acrylic, but I'm not very good when it comes to mixing the acrylics like that, because if I do make a mistake, it's not forgiving. So I didn't want to do that to myself, and I just end up getting angry and abandoning the whole thing if it fails. But this way, if I do it in white and there is little tweaks that I need to make here and there, I can always do that and then paint it afterwards. Paint it however I like, and I don't have to depend on the acrylic to do its thing for me. Yeah, it'll probably definitely need a little filing afterwards, just for the shape. But it's actually going good so far, so I'm actually quite impressed. You know, I've only been doing this nail art stuff for maybe 2 years now, so I'm still very new and very green at everything. And some of you ladies are absolutely phenomenal with the talent that runs out of your veins. I am envious because I wish I could do that. But, you know, my skills will get up there with a little practicing. I have no intention of making this a full-time job or anything. And I mean, my career is in law, but I so enjoy nails, and I don't plan on giving it up anytime soon. See? I think that looks cute. Not so bad, eh? So let that dry a little bit, and then come back and do the rest of the roller skate itself. Okay, now that part of the little boot has already dried, so let's carry on and do the rest of the part. I guess the rest of it would be technically the metallic part of it. And like I said, I can always paint that afterwards. But at least here, you know, I've got the idea of what the shape is going to be like, and it can dry in sections, and then you can still see what it's clearly supposed to be. This is my intention, and I just hope that it works out. And I'm glad that you guys are coming on this journey with me, because I'm super excited. I've had this design in my head for a little while, but because of all the moving and stuff like that, haven't really got around to executing it. And then so I just decided to write up the design for it today and see if I can actually do it. So I'm kind of very excited to see how it turns out. I really hope it turns out nice. I don't have the greatest brushes in the world, unfortunately. So mine don't keep their shape very good, and I have a hard time trying to make points and stuff like that. So forgive me for having to go over the same spot numerous times, but I just want to make sure that it's really nice. It's proper. All right, so that's that part so far already. That's not so bad. Now I'll try the other one too, just in case that one doesn't work. I'll do two just in case. You never know, right? Anything can happen. Anything can mess up. All right. Whoopsie, got a little bit too much acrylic on that one. It's coming together so far, so good. It's actually cute. Sorry, I am going over this section a couple of times because my brush isn't all that great. Unfortunately, I'm financially challenged, so I can't pay for those really beautiful brushes from like Young Nails or whatever. They're fantastic, and I envy those girls that have them because they're fantastic. I could see how they do their job properly and without having to go over it 100 times. But that's okay. It makes me more diligent and careful, I guess you could say. Okay, so there's that part. We're going to let it dry a little bit, and then we'll come back and do the rest. Okay, now let's get on to the next step before we do the wheels and the stopper. This might be the tricky part for me because it's kind of like oddly shaped. So let's see. I'll do it this way so you guys can see. A little bit too much acrylic, which is no problem. I can take that off. There, it's not bad so far. Actually getting excited to see if this is going to turn out. It's looking good so far, so it's promising. I'm just glad that my brush is working with me today. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's actually not giving me as much grief as I was thinking it would, and I'm quite impressed with it. Okay, definitely is going to need painting because it's got a little discolored, and that's okay. I kind of expected that. That's why I did it in white. If I did it in clear, I wouldn't even be able to see it. So, oh, I guess that's not enough. Huh. That was kind of silly. Alright, let's get a little bit of a bigger piece of acrylic this time. So that's why I always do things twice, just because I can give myself some room for errors. Because I make quite a few errors, but they're learning errors, as I like to call them. I like to think that I just get better and better as I go. The 3D stuff, though, is difficult for me because I'm not really creative and stuff like that. So the 3D designs that I do try usually are other people's designs because they're cool and I just wanted to try them. But they're not my original designs. This one is my original design, and I'm really hoping that it works out for me. So I'm gonna have to let that dry, and then we'll come back and do the wheels and the stopper, and let's see if this thing comes together. All right, now let's try these wheels and the stopper, and hopefully the hard part will be behind us. So add a little bit more to that one. It's too bad you can't really sculpt stuff like this with gel, because then you can kind of play with it and mold it, and then when you're ready to nuke it, then you can just nuke it. But unfortunately it's acrylic, and I don't know if you can do that yet. I'd be kind of curious to see if it actually will work. Okay, I'm just going to try to use this tool and see if I can make this a straighter line here. There. That's way better. Okay. And I'll do the other stopper while that one's drying so I don't mess it up. Here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just shape it with this thing here. You know, the funny thing is, when I was a little bit in my 20s or so, I decided to try rollerblading. So I got some rollerblades, and my daughter was just learning how to rollerblade, so she was pretty good at it. So I thought, okay, well, I mean, I can roller skate, so I mean, how different can it be? So I come around the corner and I try to stop, and I stop with my foot, thinking that it's a roller skate, and there's no stopper there. So I hit a bush. So that was my lesson on roller skating and rollerblading. I'm not used to the stoppers, so I'm thinking I'm roller skating, and I go to stop in the front and I hit a bush. So I got to remember, when I'm rollerblading, I stop in the back, and I'm not used to that because it's not natural for me, because I'm so used to it, the stopper being in the front. And I don't know why they had to switch that up with the rollerblades. It's so very confusing now. All right, so now that I got the stoppers done, let's see if we can get these wheels on, and then hopefully the whole thing will be finished, and then we can just kind of tweak it where it needs tweaking, and then paint it. I just hope it turns out. I did take a lot of planning in it. It's just I'm not sure. I may have to end up gluing some stuff. I'm not sure if it's all going to stay together or how this is going to go. So, but it's actually fun trying to do this. But it would be funny though if the wheels were not even the same size. So I gotta fix that. I do have a friend who's actually a derby girl. And she's really good. But I'm not too keen on the fact of having to roller skate and then hit people at the same time. You know, like, no, that's not enjoyable for me. I don't know why. I don't find it necessary for me to roller skate and beat people up or get beat up. It just doesn't seem right to me, you know. I mean, I remember when I was when we used to have the roller rinks around and stuff back in the 80s and stuff like that. My cousin used to have roller skating parties, and he was a year older than me, and he had the cutest friends. But for the life of me, I couldn't get anybody to dance with me because I was so tall, and it looked really weird because, you know, they were so short. So I never did get anybody dancing with me or roller skating with me. And it wasn't until I got older, into my like 20s or whatever, that guys actually started becoming taller than me. Because when I'm wearing roller skates, I'm over 6 feet tall. And when you're younger, boys obviously mature a little bit slower than girls. So they're all like, you know, 5 foot some odd, and I'm almost 6 feet tall in roller skates. Yeah, so they didn't want any part of it. And I get it. No, I get it now. I didn't get it then because it would just look weird. But it still hurt my feelings. So I was constantly skating by myself. So that's pretty much how I almost mastered it. I almost became an instructor because I was so good at it all the time. But I never pursued it. I pursued actually modeling instead. So maybe I could have been a modeling roller skater. You never know, right? All right. So I think I got the wheels there for both of my little examples there. So once that all finishes drying and everything, then we can come back and finish the back side so it looks all 3D, and then start painting. I'm excited. All right, now that that is dried, I've spared you a little bit. So instead of you having to watch me do it twice, I just did it off camera. So I just evened out the acrylic on both sides so that they're even on both sides now. So now we can actually start decorating the little roller skate. So let me just grab some of my silver here. My idea for the skate itself is going to be one of those old red and white Dominion skates. I don't know if you guys recall that, but I actually still have a pair of those skates, and they're awesome. So I thought I was just going to do a pair of Dominion skates. So the boot is actually white, and then the silver part plus the wheels are red. So I thought I'd just go with that. And I guess that would be considered retro because it is from back in the 80s, I guess, the original one. So I'm just going to paint here. Maybe it might be easier just to paint it with the paintbrush. Let's see. I'm not sure. We'll see, I guess. And then the stopper is red too. So just do this part, it's all silver. You gotta do both sides too because it's a 3D design, so you'll be able to see it. Actually, it's actually coming out quite cute already. Okay, let's see if I can flip this over. There we go. think it's looking super cute so far. This is really the very first kind of in-depth, detail by detail nail art video I've ever done. I'm not a very good photographer. I don't have like a good setup. It's just on my cell phone. So I apologize for the poor quality, but it's the only way that I have. And I just enjoy doing the videos. Like, I have fun doing it. And it gives me some experience too, so. All right, and then how about we do the wheels? And then after that, we're probably gonna have to let it dry for a little bit before I can make the final touches to the roller skate itself. But that's very minor and basic. And then I'm gonna have to cap the actual nail with some clear so that it's strong. Yeah, it looks good so far. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna grab some tweezers here because I don't want to get my nails. Okay. And I did the design that I have on my nails currently for my 11-year-old son. He loves Pokemon. I had attempted to do this design before we moved and figured I could keep them on for 2 weeks, and because, you know, normally they last about 2 weeks and then I need another design or whatever. But because of all the moving and all the motion and movement with my hands and stuff like that, they just started popping off one by one, so I couldn't really keep the design, and none of his friends got to see it, so I thought I'd surprise him and show him the same design. Okay. Isn't that cute so far? Holy moly, I'm quite impressed with myself. Yeah, I see a hair, but that's okay. I can take that off. Alrighty, once this dries, we can tweak her up and we'll be good. I'll probably do the capping of the nail off screen so you don't have to see that, but we'll be back. Alrighty, now that all the colors have dried, I think now we can put our little finishing touches now on the roller skate itself. So what I wanted to do was actually put a couple of little rhinestones on the wheels. Tweak them. I think they would be cute with them. So I'm going to just grab some glue here. I mean, I realize that it's not a perfect roller skate, but it's still fantastic, I think, for my very first time ever doing one. There, a couple little rhinestones. And then I'm going to set it down. And I'm going to do the finishing touches on the one side. And then I will finish up off camera because you guys don't need to see that twice. And then we can come back and glue it all on and put this together. Okay. So, let's see how we're going to try and do this. What are we going to do for the finishing touches here? Just kind of like do the laces and stuff. All right, I can do that. So how about we go from here. Sorry, this delicate little painting here is very difficult for me to film and to show you guys at the same time. So I'm trying to leave room and I hope you guys can see it. I'll spare you guys the details of having to see it twice. I'll just, once this side dries, then I'll just do the other side off camera. And then we can come back and paint it all back on. And there. We're just going to do the little lace hole thingies. And a couple little stripes. All right, we're almost done. I actually really quite enjoy doing this. I thought it was going to be frustrating, but it actually isn't. See, there we go. There's the finished one side. So once the other side dries, I'll do that off camera, and then we can come back and put everything together. All right, I think we finally come to the stage where we can actually put the roller skate onto the nail. This is so exciting. It's already finished. See it? And I put some Swarovski rhinestones on there for it to pop. So I'm just going to stick some brush on glue on here. And you never know, I may need some acrylic. I'm not sure yet if this is going to stick. So here's hoping. Whoops. Guess I wasn't patient enough to let it sit. So I'm just going to hold that there for a second. Actually, I like to put it the other way. You know what? I think I'm just going to add some acrylic to it. That way I know it's going to stay and I don't have to worry about it coming off at the seams there. So let me just grab a brush here and I'm going to grab a little bit of acrylic. Let's see, hopefully this stays better than the other one. All right, let's try it. Yeah, I'm not patient enough, I guess. Because I just assume that it's going to stick automatically. Shouldn't take too long for it to stay. It's not that heavy, it's just awkward, I guess. There! Oh my word. How awesome is that? Okay, well it actually turned out way better than I was expecting. It's not in focus though, so I apologize. How cute is that? Oh my word, that is awesome. I am so glad that I did this design. And I hope that you are all enjoying this video, and I hope you like the design. And I thank you for coming along this journey with me. It's been a long, and I apologize for the length of the video, but this was in real time, so I wanted you guys to see how long the process took. Aside from a couple of tweakings, it wasn't actually longer than I thought it was going to be. So there we go for the retro roller skate nail. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and until next time, and don't forget, stay groovy. Bye for now.